everybody, welcome back to BnB Anime. I am Blue, that is Brad. Today we are going to be discussing Miss Kobayashi's Dragon Maid, but before we get into that, what's up?
I'm tired.
Yeah, I bet.
I am absolutely exhausted. I just got done with an all-day trip. I played putt-putt. I went to 2 fantastic restaurants. I made Blue absolutely jealous with the pictures I sent her of said food.
Yes, I'm jealous.
Also, in honor of you, I used your color golf ball to play putt-putt with.
Nice.
Yeah, I used a lavender ball. I was like, Blue would appreciate this.
I would. That's very confusing to people who don't know that the full gamer tag and or voice acting name that I go by is Blue Lavender. Everyone else is just like, you didn't use a blue ball?
For the memes.
But yeah, it's funny because my name is Blue, but I go by Lavender. That's the color I use for everything.
Mm-hmm.
I'm wearing lavender, but I have a blue glass of water in front of me.
I have a blue bottle of water to my left.
Mm-hmm.
But also, some of the cloak I got you is lavender. I made sure of that.
Nice.
In fact, I think it was the joggers, maybe. I don't know. I can't remember. That's not the way my brain works.
I think the color of the thing that I got you is mint, but you don't know what that thing is yet, so I'm keeping it a secret.
I have no clue whatsoever.
I think you're going to be super excited.
I am very excited.
Mm-hmm.
On the note of excitement, so the new Resident Evil came out yesterday at time of recording.
Mm-hmm.
And so I sat down and streamed that yesterday, and you know what I had to do?
What?
I had to break out Prickles.
Oh.
I had to break out the cactus plush to keep me safe.
Oh.
Do you remember the Visage streams where I would just have Prickles just stuffed in front of me, hiding behind the webcam?
I do, yeah, I do.
Yeah, I had to break that out again. It didn't feel right to play a horror game without Prickles around.
Yeah, so how did it go? Was it fun?
It's a lot of fun. It really feels like a love child of Resident Evil 7 and Resident Evil 4. So psychological thriller and shooty bang bang all just meshed well into one. And I'm enjoying it.
Yeah.
So far.
Nice.
It's been a lot of fun. Other than that, I'm stressing out about fucking job interviews. I've got 2 different interviews on Monday, so life is fucking wild right now.
Mm-hmm.
But that's enough about me. How are you?
I'm okay. I've been pretty sick the past few days. Luckily, it's not COVID or anything. It's just migraines. And, but I because of that, because I couldn't do anything with, lights or electronics or anything, I've picked up a new book.
Oh?
Yeah, I think it's called The Unexpected Apprentice, or the something apprentice. It's unexpected, I can never remember titles of anything. It's a good book. It's based on it's a fantasy. It's based on a young, half elf, halfling, half small, I can't remember the name of the species, small, elven looking, but half the size of a human. I can't remember what they call it, though, in the book. Young girl who goes on an adventure to become this wizard's apprentice and to learn magic. It's really cool, but it is so much like The Hobbit that I'm okay, yeah, this is a Hobbit knockoff. Every time I read it, I'm a new section comes back and I'm okay, well that's just slightly changed Hobbit. Oh, well that's just slightly changed Lord of the Rings. It's so much like it. It's really, really good, and the literature isn't as difficult because it's so much more modern. So I feel like it's one of those books that, if you have a young teen or something that wants to get into reading The Hobbit and Lord of the Rings, but their reading comprehension isn't quite there yet to be able to read something that is that little bit older, this would be a really good, stepping stone to reading that. It's a really good book. It's just, yeah, every time I read it, I'm yeah, this is another, it's more of The Hobbit.
Mm-hmm.
But I like the author, and the author has a lot of other books, so I like the way that it's written, so I want to read some of the other books, and maybe this one was just one of the ones where a publisher was hey, you need to give us a book, and the writer was well, here is a thing, but it's not a passion project as much? I'm not sure, no, I don't know, that's just speculation.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, other than that, I haven't really done much.
Well, boo.
I know.
Just kidding. Sounds like at least picking up a new book is fun.
Yeah. I did some sketching the other day.
Oh? How did that go? What did you sketch?
Dandelion.
Oh, interesting.
Yeah, I'm trying to this year, I think, throughout spring, because our season is so short here in Canada. I'm trying to, draw something in the garden that springs up every time I see like a new thing, because we have quite a lot of plants that we plant, obviously, and quite a lot of things that regrow every summer.
Mm-hmm.
And so I'm trying to, like, whenever I see the first of something, like the first dandelion, eventually the first poppy, the first strawberry, the first, everything like that, I'm gonna try and like draw it as is, because I want to get better at like drawing from reference, but the reference isn't still.
Mm-hmm.
Because a lot of the references that I've worked with previously have been photographs or other sketches or other pieces of artwork or, like an apple on a table that doesn't move. So I want to try and get better at using a reference that is constantly moving and changing and just trying to take those fundamentals and put something together with it without it being still life,
Understandable. That's definitely a good avenue to try to pursue. Is that what I'm trying to think of? Sure, let's go with that. I can use words.
And aesthetically, I really love those old, like, journals of, like, explorers and gardeners and herbalists and stuff, where they would have, like, those pencil sketches of plants and animals and things like that, and then their little, like, scratched notes next to them.
Mm-hmm.
It's like an old leather-bound journal with all of these sketches and notes, and I want to create one of those. I want to have one of those.
I mean, honestly, go for it. That'd be cool.
Yeah. I mean, I've
It's
already
like a
got
diary,
a family
but more fun.
grimoire, so why not add that?
Exactly. Why not? It's like a little heirloom that you can just yeet somewhere and be like, ho, it has been passed down through generations.
Yes. Do you have anything that's like a family heirloom?
No.
We have two.
Oh?
Yeah, my dad's signet ring was my granddad's signet ring, which is like a male pinky finger ring.
Mm-hmm.
And then my mom's charm bracelet, which is now my charm bracelet.
Oh, that's cool.
Yeah. Yeah, I have a little snowboard charm and a little piano charm that have been added since I have gotten it.
That's really cool.
Yeah. Yeah, and it's not like one of those ones that has the beaded charms that are really popular now. It's one of the ones that has the dangly charms.
Oh, I got you.
Yeah.
Super fancy then.
Mm-hmm. It's hard to get them nowadays, though, the charms that go on them.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, my mom seems to find it somehow.
I mean, hey, that's not necessarily a bad thing by any means.
No, yeah. I don't wear it often because it's kind of obnoxious, but yeah, no, I do like it. On occasions, I wear it.
Nice little, like, jewelry type aesthetic.
Yeah.
For more of like a formally situation type thing.
Mm-hmm.
Not something you'd probably want to wear on a, casual day around the house or anything like that.
Yeah, no, it catches on everything. It's the kind of thing that I wear when it's like my birthday or Christmas or we go out to dinner or, stuff like that.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
And even then, it's quite a statement because it, like, jangles.
But that's more fun, though.
It is, yeah. Be like a Morris dancer.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So shall we get into some news?
I'd love to hear some news.
So, Demon Slayer over the weekend has reached #1 in America in the box office.
Nice.
Much deserved.
Mm-hmm.
So good. I can't wait to have you sit down and watch it whenever it finally releases digitally.
Yeah,
it's so good, mate. I want to go back to the theaters and watch it again.
I wish I could go back to the theaters, but yeah, Alberta is sucking big time in the
I was about to say, y'all are actually going into lockdown again, aren't you?
Yeah, we're going into lockdown again. Alberta has long since been considered the Texas of Canada.
Uh-huh.
It is, there's a lot of anti-maskers and a lot of people, there have been talks about Alberta leaving Canada and wanting to become part of America. It's a thing, not a thing that I agree with personally. I think it's a really silly idea considering Alberta is landlocked.
I mean, not only that, but I don't think they realize how inconvenient that would be for y'all.
Yeah, super inconvenient.
Because although you could travel to and from the U.S. at that point without passports, you could not go into any other province in Canada without one.
No. Yeah. And,
so that's not wise. It's like if Texas were to ever secede from the U.S. Like, just the fact that they would have to come up with their own energy, which we saw how well that went whenever they had that freeze back in February.
Yeah.
Not only that, but they would be import taxed on anything coming in or out of there.
Mm-hmm.
Just, it's not wise.
Yep, yeah, and it's all to do with, like, oil country, because obviously Alberta is very much oil country.
Mm-hmm.
But the industry is very quickly dying, and you need to have a replacement for that, because people aren't buying Alberta oil like they used to, because people aren't buying oil like they used to, and that's not going to pick back up again when the economy picks back up, because people are investing in renewable resources.
Mm-hmm.
So, yeah, Alberta was used to making a lot of money. A lot of money. And it's never going to make that kind of money again from the oil. And I think people are having a hard time adjusting to that.
Mm-hmm.
And, yeah, it's... because of that, there's a lot of anger at the government. And because of that, because there's anger at the government, then everything the government says is wrong, obviously. Because if one thing is wrong, then everything is wrong. And, yeah, so then people are not wearing masks, people are not enforcing mask policy, people are not staying at home when they should, people are, yeah, being rather obnoxious, not getting vaccines. There's a big anti-vaxxer group here. There are protesters that have been on the side of the street the entire quarantine period, like from the 2019, end of 2019. They've been standing on that street corner. I'm like, do you ever go home?
Don't you have lives?
Yeah. Talking about, all lives matter, no immigrants, anti-masks, you're all sheep, etc., etc. Pretty much anything you could think of.
Mm-hmm.
Which, yeah, is a statement to make.
Uh-huh.
Yeah, so because of that, Alberta is not doing good at all with Corona, and yeah, I don't know. I think at worse numbers than the States right now here in Alberta.
Mm-hmm.
And yeah, I mean, I don't want anybody to get sick. Like, that's just it. I just don't want anybody to be ill. So can we just cooperate, please?
Just let's get this shit back under control.
Yeah.
Let's get it taken care of. Get vaccinated. Because it's the same as fucking polio, chickenpox, the plague.
Yeah.
Hepatitis.
Yeah.
Whatever. Just get your damn shots. Please and thanks.
Yeah. And I mean, it's like I haven't left my village, really. Except for medical purposes when I went to the city in like a year and a half.
Mm-hmm.
I'm 23. This is the prime of my life. Let me leave. You know?
Mm-hmm. Oh no, I totally get it. So hopefully with vaccines becoming more readily available, and especially you going and getting vaccinated, what about the rest of the fam? Is everybody else gonna be getting theirs as well?
Yeah, I know that my brother is probably going to get vaccinated the same time that I do. My parents are both eligible, so as well, so they should go and get theirs as well soon. And I'm trying to get my parents to also both get their shingles vaccine at the same time. I'm like, you're going for a vaccine, just go get a shingles one too. Because neither of them have done that. And I'm like, go, please, just... You didn't have a chickenpox vaccine because you had chickenpox when you were small, so just go get your shingles vaccine. You're already there. You're already going to get an injection. Just get it too.
Yeah, shingles is fucking worse than chickenpox.
It's so bad. And on both sides of my family, a grandparent has had shingles, so...
Ew.
Yeah. Yeah, my grandma had it, my nan had it when she was like 92.
Oh, no.
Yeah. Because I think she's 95 this November.
Mm-hmm.
Still kicking it. Her mom lived to be 101. She's currently at 95. I am planning on beating both of them.
Gambate.
Yeah, so... Because I think her mom before that was 99. So I think it's been 99, 101, and currently at 95.
Mm-hmm.
So I'm like, well, I gotta win, you know?
I might make it to half of that.
You're gonna make it well past half of that, dude.
I don't know, mate.
Yeah. Big goals.
I mean, I'm starting small, okay? I gotta get in cosplay shape before, before we discuss making it past 50.
At least to 80. That is minimum. That's all I'm taking, minimum.
So what I'm hearing is that you want me to pester the fuck out of you for another 60 years.
Yeah.
You poor soul. You have my condolences early.
80 minimum. It's what I'm taking. If you don't reach there, I'm going to be thoroughly disappointed, and I'm going to put it on your headstone.
The list of what's going to go on my tombstone just continues to grow.
You're going to need a monument to fit it all in.
Only a monument would be fitting of someone of my ego. That's also going on the monument.
Perfect.
Oh my god. It's so wonderful.
Mm-hmm.
So, next piece of news. Overlord is officially getting a 4th season and a film. So listen, we can't get any more All Out because Madhouse refuses to do another season of it. However, it has signed on to do a 4th season and a film of an isekai. You're welcome.
Yeah, I want more All Out, please and thank you.
But hey, we're getting more Overlord. That's fun.
That is fun. But come on, rugby.
But come on, isekai.
But come on, rugby.
Isekai.
Rugby, rugby, rugby.
Look, we've both come to the understanding that ReZero was better than All Out, therefore isekai.
Yeah, but how much more saturated is the isekai genre than the rugby genre?
Rugby is not a genre. Sports is a genre.
Is.
Sports is a genre. Rugby is a subcategory.
No, rugby is an entire genre. So is swimming, and diving, and football, and American football, and baseball.
Leave in the comments who's right and who's wrong with this debate.
Fine, I recede.
As it should be. But yeah, I'm excited. Overlord is a really interesting show for me because it's definitely not the first isekai I watched. However, it is the first one to where I think the overpowered main character is done extremely well.
Mm-hmm.
Although, where the show ended with Season 3, I'm curious to see how Season 4 is going to go, because Season 4 is going to pick up exactly where Season 3 left off.
Mm-hmm.
And then the film is going to be taking place during I believe it's the Holy Kingdom arc. So I don't know. Up to this point, I haven't even heard of the Holy Kingdom in the story, so who fucking knows?
Who knows?
But I'm intrigued. Overlord is fun. I can't wait to see where it goes with Ainz and the gang. And finally, probably the biggest piece of news to come out of this podcast today. It was initially leaked yesterday at time of recording on Toei's website that a new Dragon Ball Super film was going to be coming next year.
Mm-hmm.
Well, Toei has now officially confirmed that it will be coming next year, and good old Akira Toriyama has even confirmed that he is having a major involvement with the film as well. So I'm excited.
Yeah.
Just every time I hear there's more new Dragon Ball, the little kid in me is like, fuck yeah.
Mm-hmm.
I'm excited. Broly was great. I'm gonna have to figure out a way to get you through Super to where you can watch the new film when it comes out.
I'll just have to binge it.
But we gotta make a podcast out of it though.
Yeah.
I will compile a set of episodes that will cover each individual arc. And then we can do podcast episodes of just about arcs.
Sounds good.
Because it's no more than, I think, 20, 25 episodes per arc, because there's only 131 episodes in Super.
Mm-hmm.
So I can make it work. We can.
Yeah. I've still got to get you to finish Prince of Tennis.
There just has to be a way to find it, because Hulu only has 25 episodes.
Yeah, and it's so rude.
We also got to finish Haikyuu, because we haven't done Season 4.
Yes, and Season 4 is interesting, because that's the one that happened during COVID lockdowns and stuff, so there's, some animation differences in there.
Well, the animation difference is because it changed directors.
Yes, but I think
because
there's
the director...
I think there's also an episode specifically where the animation just falls apart.
You told me about this episode, but I haven't seen said episode. I think it's episode 13 out of the new season or some shit like that?
Something like that.
Episode 9, 13, I don't know, some shit.
It makes me wonder if at some point production houses are going to go back to these, because it's a couple of shows where it's just one episode that they've outsourced.
Mm-hmm.
And I wonder if they're going to go back and reanimate those episodes.
I mean, to do it for like DVD releases and stuff, it makes total sense to go back and do it.
Mm-hmm.
But as far as streaming services and stuff like that goes, probably not.
Yeah, no.
Just reboot Dead Man Wonderland and fix it.
Fix it.
Especially those last 3 episodes. Fucking hell. What was it? Oh, it was The Promised Neverland that we watched where they just wrap so much shit up in like 2 episodes.
Yeah.
Or an entire season of just wrapping up just hundreds of chapter of manga.
Yeah, they the only thing I can think of with that is that they got called and was like, hey, corporate says no more. So wrap it up.
No more for you.
No more for you. So accounting says it's not in the budget.
So speaking of not in the budget, but going to happen anyway. So I told you about new truck, right?
Yeah.
So you know how vehicles come with like airbag safety stickers on the visor?
Mm-hmm.
I'm thinking about replacing mine.
Okay.
Check that out.
Put on your seatbelt. I'm going to get burned. Yes.
It's Sasha. I love it so much. But also, that's me.
Yeah.
Oh, it's perfect. I love it. But anyway, yeah, that's it. That's all I got for news.
Cool. Well, can say that Miss Kobayashi's Dragon Maid is rated a PG-13.
I can see it.
Mm-hmm.
It's got some very adult themes in it.
Yeah.
Sure.
Yeah.
So, Miss Kobayashi's Dragon Maid is also a manga. It was written by Cool Kyushinjia.
Cool Kyoshin. Yeah. Jia.
Sure. And published by Futabasha. And it ran from May 25th of 2013 to present for a total of 10 volumes.
Mm-hmm.
There is a spin-off manga for Kana's daily life, who is our adorable lolly dragon for the show.
Mm-hmm.
That is still running as well from December 24th of 2016 to present for a total of 8 volumes.
Mm-hmm.
The show was directed by Yasuhiro Takemoto. And of course, it's Kyoto Animation. And I love how you get like just those little hints of Kyoto in there. Because this is not your stereotypical Kyoto Animation title by any means.
No.
But just those little moments where you can truly see Kyoto just shine through in it.
Mm-hmm.
I love it. I love it so much.
I think you a fantastic example of that is the opening scene of the very first episode.
Not only that, but the OP, whenever it shows Toru looking at Kobayashi.
Mm-hmm.
And like just the way the shading is done, the way they do shading in this show is just masterful. I'm a big fan of shading, and just the way they do it is just phenomenal.
Mm-hmm.
I love it so much. So the original run for the show ran from January of 2017 through April of 2017 for a grand total of 13 episodes plus an OVA.
Mm-hmm. Which on Crunchyroll, they count as like 14 episodes. So if you're watching it on Crunchy, like that OVA is just included in the season.
Yeah. Mm-hmm. And then with that as well, season 2 has officially been announced.
Mm-hmm.
So I'm excited. I need more. This was a fun watch.
Yeah. I like how each episode is kind of split up into 2 small segments. I guess there's a couple where it's like a full continued storyline. But it's, it's almost like you get 2 episodes in one.
It's linear, but it's like broken up. So it's good for your brain to like take a break.
Mm-hmm.
It's nice.
Mm. Is that all the background?
That's all the background.
Cool. So before we get into it too much, I will just say that there are some themes in there that might make people uncomfortable. There was a couple comments on Crunchyroll for a couple of the episodes where people commented on how uncomfortable they felt, and I felt a little uncomfortable in a couple sections as well, specifically to do with the character Shota and Lukoa. Their interactions with each other. So just to let you know that there is there's no easy really way to say it, but other than like sexualization of an elementary school student that, just made a couple people uncomfortable. So just be aware of that. I don't know if it's like a full-on trigger warning or whatever, but I felt like it's important to say that the humor is for a specific kind of person.
Yeah, it is very It's very fan servicey for just like one small like bit of the fan base.
Yeah.
But it is definitely there.
Yeah, it's mainly in, because like I said, how the episode is broken up into 2 segments. In between those 2 segments and right at the very end are the little tiny shorts that are probably just about 30 seconds long, that feature like side characters or people that you don't see very often throughout the show. And it's mainly during those sections that it happens. Occasionally it happens in a main part of an episode, but it is the worst parts I find where those jokes are considered are like more prominent, I find, are in those small sections. So it is possible to kind of skip through it a little bit and you won't miss anything if you do want to give it a watch. And you're not sure if it'll make you uncomfy. But I did see in the comment section, I thought it was worth mentioning that it has made people uncomfortable.
Yeah.
Yeah, so it's based around, Miss Kobayashi's Dragon Maid is based around a young working adult in Japan, Miss Kobayashi, who on one night meets a dragon who she then befriends and comes to live with her, named Toru, and she takes in the role of Miss Kobayashi's maid. And it's just shenanigans of Toru finding out how the human world works, Toru's other dragon friends coming to the overworld and staying with them, and learning the ways of the world as well. And little skits and sketches of them interacting with each other. It's a very simple storyline.
Spoiler chicken hat.
Yeah, so let's jump right into it with the first episode where we meet Miss Kobayashi and Toru ends up on her front step, and we learn that she invited her to stay because she was very drunk.
Which is hilarious.
It is.
Just the fact that we had to wait till the last episode to see the scene of how it all takes place, but my goodness, it's great, man.
It is.
Just their initial interactions are fun as well.
I know. And Toru leaving and feeling so sad and he's like, okay, yeah. But when Toru's leaving and she's all sad, doll.
Aw, poor Toru.
One thing I'm confused about is how her tail works.
Yeah, I don't know either.
Yeah, because first of all, the physical anatomy of it kind of confuses me because her butt looks normal, but then all of a sudden there's this thick tail. I'm
just
like, is it
giant tail?
Yeah, but it doesn't seem to attach to like her lower back or her tailbone, so I have no idea how it attaches.
Yeah, I'm not sure.
Because it seems like it would attach to her upper thighs, but then I have no idea how that works.
Also, the fact that she keeps trying to feed it to Miss Kobayashi.
Yeah, and it's poisonous.
It's wonderful.
Doesn't it hurt? I don't know. Okay.
This is an all-powerful dragon. I doubt it would hurt.
Yeah. Oh, and in the first episode as well, you see Toru having a nightmare of how she ended up where she was in the overworld. And that was sad. That was sad.
That was sad, but also just that little interaction of Miss Kobayashi just being like, that's okay.
Yeah, it's one of those things that initially, right off the bat, gives the characters a really good connection to each other.
Mm-hmm.
And shows equal understanding. Kobayashi's really a good character in the sense of, like, she does have character growth, but it's so subtle that you, like, it's not like a preaching moment, if you know what I mean.
Mm-hmm. It's subtle, but even then, like, it's also interesting to see that she notices that she's had that character development as well.
Mm-hmm. So
it's really interesting to see how it all kind of plays out, especially with stuff like that.
Yeah. And then we also meet Takia in this episode as well, when they end up going out for drinks and they meet Toru and Kobayashi strips her in the restaurant.
Oh my god, yeah, she's like, this isn't an actual maid uniform, this is a disgrace. And just the fact that they're both secret maid otakus.
Yeah. Takiya's physical transformation every time he puts on his glasses cracks me up.
Oh my goodness, and you never see him actually put on the glasses, he just gets drunk and boom, swirly glasses.
Yeah, and his teeth.
Yep.
Like, what happens to his teeth? Why does he turn into a rabbit as soon as he puts on his glasses?
I don't know. It's all shenanigans. It's great.
It is. him and Fafner are my ship of the show.
100%.
Yeah.
But also, like, how can you not love Kobayashi and Toru, though?
Yeah, they are really cute.
It's adorable. It's all just an adorable dynamic.
Yes.
Also, Kana and Bugs. Or anything that moves, for that matter.
Yeah.
Cicadas. Crunchy.
That butterfly that was on her finger.
Uh-huh. Or the crab for the beach episode, which, by the way, this show does have a beach episode. This is the first time we've had a beach episode since, Darling in the Franxx?
Yeah, something like that.
Yeah, beach episode for the first time in, like, half a year.
And, Lukoa's boobs.
Yeah.
Just, they're a whole character on their own.
Yeah, like, it might as well have had voiceover lines.
Yeah, honestly.
Also,
like,
just the boobs in the show in general.
Yes. Just so like, inconvenient. They look inconvenient.
They really do. Like, doesn't that hurt their backs?
Yeah.
Not only that, but whenever Kobayashi asks Toru, like, what size are those? She's like, D for dragon. Oh my god, this show.
So anyway, episode 2 is the shopping district purse snatcher. We also gain Kana acquired in this episode, and we get to see Kana's dragon as well, which is so fluffy and cute and adorable.
It really is. Like, it's an adorable dragon. Also, Toru just pimp slaps the hell out of a dude that steals a purse.
Mm-hmm.
That whole scene was epic, man.
I love how she's like the famous person of the shopping district.
Right, like everybody knows her, everybody's giving her discounts and free shit and all that other fun stuff. And then she was just like, can I get him?
Yeah.
And then just like shoots off, just whips around and just slaps his ass into the ground.
Yep.
How did that dude not die?
I was gonna say, that's like every rib is broken, your spine is shattered, your skull is fractured, your hips are broken. Like,
well, I mean, for the scene, like it shows him like just get smashed through the concrete, but then it cuts to him lying there and the concrete's perfectly fine.
Yeah.
So it's like they do it for aesthetic to like show like how hard he hits, but then he's just fine. Mm-hmm. The ground is fine. It's great.
Mm-hmm.
But then the fact that Kana, the way she gets her mana back is by plugging into a wall socket with her tail.
Yeah. That's really cute. And so smart as well. I don't think I've ever seen anything to do with like an electric user just plugging themselves into an outlet.
Right? Well, typically it's a fantasy world where like electricity doesn't exist because it's all candles and shit.
Yeah, I'm trying to think of in My Hero. He doesn't plug himself in though, does he?
No, because I think that would fry his brain.
Yeah, I was going to say he produces so much himself that he...
Could you imagine if Armstrong like stuck his finger in a socket in Full Metal?
Yeah.
Oh my god, that's something I want to see. Like his handlebar mustache just shoots straight up and gets frizzy.
Detective Pikachu should have.
Yes, or just Pikachu in general.
Right?
Like just lightning bolt tail into a socket.
Into a socket. Pikachu.
And then, oh my goodness, the scene of Kana and Toru play fighting.
Yeah.
Like, Dragon Lolly could use Kamehameha.
Yeah. It's like, oh, we're just play fighting. You had to go into another dimension. Like,
not only that, but it was like lasers and Armageddon and shit, and they're just, like, playing.
Yep.
That's horrifying.
Yep. And then in episode 3, they end up moving to a new apartment, the noisy neighbors happen, and Fafner and Lukoa end up actually joining the party this time. This is when we are introduced to them.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Fafnir is the dragon that cares about nothing but murder, and the way Lukoa gets into the world is... That's a thing.
Mm-hmm. Gets summoned by a boy. Yeah. I don't know how I feel about Lukoa's character, because there are some parts of her that I'm like, oh yeah, she's a really cool character. I really enjoy how she's kind of like the advice giver to Kobayashi and to Toru. But yeah, her relationship with Shota is sometimes really cute and sometimes really not.
Yeah, there are some times where it's like, again, if the roles were reversed, this would definitely not make it past the boardroom.
No. Yeah. And I just feel like it went too far. And I don't know. It was uncomfortable to watch, and I saw in the comment section that it was uncomfortable for other people to watch as well. And some people are making jokes of it and making light of it and just accepting it as it was, and other people verbally stated that they had dropped the show. But here on my anime list, it's given an 8 even of nearly 500,000 users voted, so it's still very highly ranked, even with those moments throughout the show. So I don't think it's, like, deterred a lot of people from watching it, but I did see that a lot of people in the comments were verbally uncomfy about it. But then again, it's also, like, the people who actually write it in the comments, well, how many people didn't write in the comments at all and were fine with it and didn't even look in the comments, just went to the next episode, you know?
Mm-hmm.
So, but yeah, it's a thing. I just think it was a bit extreme. Well, yeah.
I mean, it's definitely, let's take a trope and bring it all the way up to 10, in essence.
Yeah.
Which this show is very tropey as well anyway.
It is, yeah. I mean, like, you guys have heard my perspective on, like, Violet Evergarden and stuff like that, and it is very much that kind of thing. To me, I don't particularly feel like going into the hardness of it recently, because there's been so much of it in media recently, as, like, with the Josh Duggar case and all that kind of stuff. There's been a lot of very, very dark, very, very deep stuff in regards to that, so my view on it is very tired and warped and extreme right now because of all of that stuff that's been going on outside of this show. But yeah, so that's why I'm mainly keeping it verbally to the point of, like, people in the comments were uncomfy.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. Episode 4, Kana goes to school. She gets school supplies. They play dodgeball. Their version of dodgeball is interesting.
Intense.
Yeah.
Also, Kana's relationship with the girl with the shiny forehead.
Yes, Riko.
I don't remember her name. All I know is shiny forehead.
Yeah, so she's intense love for Kana.
Yes, that's putting it mildly.
Yes, obsession with Kana.
That's more accurate.
Yeah. But yeah, they what is it? Dodge, duck, dive, dodge, and dodge?
Oh, dodge, duck, dip, dive, and dodge.
There you go. In this episode. And they beat up some teenagers, which is always something.
But it's not just Kana, although Kana could have absolutely slaughtered them with her hands tied behind her back.
Yeah.
But no, it was Kana, Fafnir, Toru, and Lukua.
Yes.
And they go after teenagers. These are dragons that could breathe and slaughter these people, but instead they take a ball and probably broke all the ribs.
Yeah, I kind of feel bad for that one teenage boy that was like, hey, just chill, like, the whole time. He was like, I don't want to do this, like, just, like, this is not necessary. And then he gets the shit beat out of him. Like, oh, sorry, dude.
You poor man.
Yeah, you need to choose better friends.
Yeah.
But kind of getting school supplies is so cute.
Oh, especially the little backpack charm.
Yeah.
That was adorable.
Yeah, and her being so angry and disgruntled whenever they went into the store and it was, like, stuffy and old, and she's like, I want cute stuff.
It's very realistic.
Yeah.
Even though there's no telling how actually old Kana is.
No.
But how she's just acting like a child.
Mm-hmm.
It's great.
Well, she is considered a child in dragon years. I don't know what the equivalent to that is in human years, because it's never mentioned how old any of them are. But
probably like 30 or 40.
At least. I could even be like 200.
I mean, I was going to say Toru is probably hundreds of years old.
Yeah. So it wouldn't surprise me if Kana is 100 or so years old. But her equivalent of growth is that of a third grader.
Part of me wants to go read the manga.
Mm-hmm.
Just to see.
Well, it actually made me, like, curious. Because Kana in elementary school now is going to she's going to want to progress with her classmates, right? But if she's growing so much slower, will she have to, like, physically, like, magic herself age-wise to look their appearance, but then mentally she's still going to be that of a third grader.
Mm-hmm.
So...
Yeah, I don't know.
Yeah, I don't know how that's going to work. But I was thinking about that, and I was like, that's kind of sad, because then she might have to, like, change schools every year, and then she doesn't get to grow with her classmates.
Yeah, that would suck.
Yeah. So, like, you can do, like, 3rd and 4th grade, and then switch schools, and then does 3rd and 4th grade, and then switch schools.
Yeah.
But yeah, now I've made you depressed. Episode 5.
Sadness.
Kobayashi. We get to see Kobayashi at work. We get to the tripping the chief. where Toru goes to her work and the chief is like taking out all of his aggression on Kobayashi and requesting, like, abusing his power absolutely, and Toru is really angry about it, so she trips him up over and over and over again, and it's a stupid skit, but it made me laugh. And then Fafnir also moves in with Takia as well, which I love. They're great roommates.
They really are.
And Fafnir is so secretly adorable.
Yes. Like, Fafnir could potentially have run as best boy.
Yeah, honestly. He's one of those characters that's like, he shouldn't be adorable, but he is.
But then Takia really is best boy.
Yes. Yeah.
He's just so helpful and nice all the time.
Yeah. Just so chill about everything as well. Where it's like, hey, wanna go out for a drink? Nah. Okay. Like...
Maybe next time.
Yeah.
By the way, are you alright?
Yeah, he's so chill. He's one of those people that you, like, anytime you're feeling stressed, you want to just hang around with them because they'll just
they'll just mellow you out.
Yeah, they'll just mellow you right out. Just take all of the intensity away. And then this episode is also where they try and bend spoons.
It's a great time.
Yeah, I want to figure that out. I want to see if that's legit. That you just have to find the right positioning on the spoon, or you can just push it real easy and it just goes.
Mm-hmm. Yeah,
I want to try
that. Is legit. Do it. Just bend all the silverware in the house. See what mom and dad say.
Yeah, they wouldn't be pleased.
That'll be fun.
Episode 6. Maid bonding and kid twister. That's what I have in my notes. So we get to meet Georgie, and who is Riko's older sister, who's just obsessed with maids.
Yes.
Yes. And this is where we also find out that Shota, how he summoned Lukoa. And we get to see some Faf and Takia bonding, which we do love.
It is very nice. They just have such a nice dynamic.
Yeah. I don't know. I could quite happily watch a spin-off of just the two of them.
Same.
Yeah, like, I would be very entertained watching them prepare for Comic-Con and, you know, play video games and go on little adventures around town. You know what would be so good?
What?
If Takia and Faf went back to the magic world, and Takia went as like learnt to be like a human, and he learnt to be a human. He learnt to, like, you know, acquire sorts of stuff, and they were like went through their adventure video game that they always play with each other. But they were doing it in real life, and it was like the plundering oaths of Faf and Takia going through in, like, I don't know, a dungeon together. That would be great.
That would be great. Or even on that same note, it's like the daily lives of high school boys, but instead the daily lives of Fafnir and Takia.
Yeah.
I'd be game. Just give it to me.
Yes. They're freaking Faf in the park learning how to do the jump over and over again.
Yep.
Yep. Perfect.
So, and then Fafnir's dragon does not match him and everyone else's at all.
No.
Like, I found it oddly adorable in a way, even though it's ugly. It was oddly adorable. It's great. It's wonderful.
Oh, yeah. And then we have episode 7, which is the beach episode. So, standard beach episode things, like small and tiny swimsuits.
Yep.
And
especially with Lukoa.
Yep.
But I love how the lifeguard just yeets her off the beach. It's like, that's inappropriate.
Yep. And sunscreen applications.
Yep.
And swimming races. Yeah. And then Comic-Con also happens that episode as well. Which
Comic-Con was fun.
Yeah, and I feel bad for Faf because I would absolutely purchase a book of curses.
Although the way they blurred those pages, I wonder if it was actually curses.
I would still, I don't know if I'd have to see the book, but depending on what that was blurring, there is a chance that I may still purchase it. Because anybody that is sitting there and there's queues of people surrounding them and then there's one person that's not selling anything always makes me incredibly curious as to what they're selling.
Yeah, I mean, and plus, they had to have worked hard on whatever they're selling.
Yeah.
So, support the small creator.
Yeah. And I would have taken him as an incredible cosplayer. Even if you might need to,
perform a... Do what?
I would have taken him as an incredible cosplayer as well, so...
Yeah.
Even though he wasn't cosplaying. But it looked like he was.
Not only that, but Toru's growth in this episode as well was good.
Yeah.
And also the fact that we find out that there's more magical beings in the world.
Yeah, and them running away from her and then stealing her storyline.
Yep. I expect that to come back in season 2.
Yeah.
Like, they go to Comic-Con again, and then they just see a story about a dragon maid, and she's like, son of a bitch!
And they're like, wow, you're an incredible cosplayer. It's like, actually.
Also, back to episode 2, and Kana calling Miss Kobayashi names.
Yeah.
Oh my god. That was the thing?
Yep.
Oh, I did not expect them to just go ham with that like they did.
Yeah.
There was no censoring. There was no bleeping.
No.
Just ham.
Yeah. And then episode 8, we meet Elma.
Mm-hmm.
And we meet Elma and we get arguing and Elma being really silly when she gets trapped into another dimension. And Toru getting jealous. And also, where the hell does Elma live? Like, she doesn't have a paycheck for a month. And Kobayashi's just like, oh, cool, sucks to be you, I'll buy you a thing for some food. There you go, you have a steam bun or whatever it was.
She's at
Bye.
a manga cafe.
Oh, yeah.
I'm just bullshitting, but that's the only thing I could think of.
Yeah, just at a manga cafe, just stays there the entire time.
I mean, on like a lease plan type thing,
Yeah.
Like how internet cafes will like allow you like free time until you get a job, or Lyft will give you like 3 weeks of free rides after you get a job until you can afford to be paid. That kind of thing.
Mm-hmm.
Maybe. I don't know. I'm just talking out of my ass.
Maybe. It's quite impressive that you can talk out of your ass. I can only talk out of my mouth. It's a real talent.
I want to go home.
Episode 9, Sports Day!
Such a cute episode.
Super cute. And some major growth from Kobayashi here.
Mm-hmm.
Generational growth. Because it speaks of her not having a sport, like her parents not coming to her sports days, and then her reflecting and going to Kana's. It's really cute, though.
It really is. Also, Kana being a little shit about it, too.
Mm-hmm.
It's great.
But also,
just fun growth from everybody.
Yeah, it is. And Riko, when she trips on the race and is, like, gonna cry. And Kana saving the day. That was really adorable.
Although, I kind of wanted to see Kana, like, go all out.
Yeah.
Like, just to win. Like, other person's getting ready to cross the tape, and Kana just, boom.
Yeah, it kind of, I was half expecting, in The Incredibles, where I think it's at the end of the first movie, Dash is in a running race, and his parents are like, run faster! No, not that fast! Second! Come second! You remember?
Yeah.
I was kind of half expecting that to happen when I watched it. That's what came back in my brain.
But I like how she did it, like, just enough to barely win.
Mm-hmm.
Like, I feel like it's such a slap in the face to the other person.
Yeah. And then, what was that? There was that one joke where it's like, world's best, and Shota had to go and find it. And he brings back Lucawa.
World class.
Mm-hmm.
He brought Lucawa. Oh, my goodness. And the judge was
his
like,
teacher accepts it. Yeah.
Yep. Just tropes everywhere.
Absolute tropes. That was, yeah.
That's all that was just a trope.
It was just trope after trope. What else happened that episode?
I think that was it. I think it's all just sports festival.
Mm-hmm. So then in episode 10, we have Christmas play on steroids. So
it's such a fun episode.
It is, yeah. So Toru gets asked when she goes to visit the shopping district from one of the shop seller folk merchants there, who has injured himself, if she can gather some people together and put on some kind of like entertainment performance thing for the old folks' home, because he was going to do it, but he injured himself. And so she accepts and gathers all of the other dragons and some side characters as well. And they decide that they're going to put on a version of the Little Match Girl story, which is, I assume, a Japanese fairy tale, folktale, because I haven't heard it before.
I feel like it's been brought up in other anime before. But for some reason, I also feel like the Little Match Girl is a real thing. Because the story sounds familiar. Like, it struck me outside of just this whenever I watched it. But I can't quite place where.
No, I wouldn't be surprised if it's like an actual folktale or fairy tale or whatever, but it's not one.
I could see it being like an English folktale from like how it's set and done. The Little Match Girl is a literary fairy tale by Danish poet and author Hans Christian Andersen.
Oh, okay, it's Hans Christian Andersen. Okay, I don't know why I haven't heard that one. If it's Danish, it's probably not in this book.
It was first published in 1845 and has been adapted in various media, including animated, live-action, and VR films, as well as television musicals.
Yeah.
So I knew the story sounded really familiar, but I know it's been used in anime a couple of different times, but outside of that, the story just sounded familiar.
Yeah, it's not one that I am familiar with, but I'm not super familiar with all Hans Christian Andersen. I'm more familiar with the Grimm's Brothers stuff.
Mm-hmm.
And yeah, specifically British fairy tales, because those are the ones that I grew up with, like St. George of Merry England and, you know, Jack the Giant Killer.
Mm-hmm.
Things like that.
So, yeah. But not only do they put on this play, no, they go like magical powers putting on this play, and the old people in the crowd are like, is that the new CGI?
Yeah, and it's so adorable.
I about spit my drink whenever that happened because I forgot that even occurred, and it just took me off guard.
Yes, but it's very, very cute, and they add in things of just like complete random.
It's like it turns into a Final Fantasy game, almost.
And magical girls, and old, I don't know.
It was like you gave you and me a piece of paper, and we're like, here, come up with an anime idea, and we just let ADHD run free.
Yes. Yeah, it was very much an ADHD word vomit put into a play.
Not only that, but them building a chimney inside Miss Kobayashi's house.
Yeah.
For Santa to come through, putting up neon signs, and then Miss Kobayashi coming back and then putting in more neon signs.
Yeah, and then Miss Kobayashi trying to sneak in and give kind of the present right at the very end of the episode. And she wakes up.
Yep, and so she's there for hours hiding beside the bed because Kana's still awake, just sitting there smoldering.
Oh, that was really cute.
It was such a good episode. And then episode 11, New Year's.
Yeah, so they win a kotatsu from the shopping district, which I wish. And that becomes like a main plot line for the next 4 episodes, including the OVA. They're just like always using it.
Yep.
And they also have their first shrine visit. So Kana and Toru get dressed up in... My brain is gone.
Kimono?
Thank you. Kimonos. My brain just went. And yeah, they celebrate New Year's. They go out to the shrine, have some good bonding moments. I don't know. It's just kind of a really sweet little episode.
Mm-hmm. Oh, yeah.
And then in episode 12 is the omurice situation, the omurice.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, which is a whole thing. Still trying to feed her tail to Kobayashi.
Yep. Then not only just her tail, but goes to the other world and gets, like, what are the best ingredients.
And they're always blood.
Yep.
Why are they
like
blood?
I don't know. Like, is it censored for us? Or is that how it actually is in Japan? Like, they do that anyway, just for giggles?
I think it's censored for everybody for giggles.
I don't know,
I think the joke is that it's censored. But I don't know. Maybe I'm wrong. Maybe. But I don't think it should be rated a PG-13 then.
R.
Yeah. Yeah, I don't know. It's really cute. And you get to see Well, what's cute about it is Kobayashi being like on the train, well, I should have just said that her omurice is normally really good. And then obviously she never gets to because, yeah, it's gross.
Next episode.
Oh yeah, and this episode 12 is also when we get to see their drunken meeting. And we also get to learn about Toru's first interaction with a human or a bandit. And her learning about maids for the first time and wanting to be somebody's maid. And then in episode 13, Toru's dad visits.
Well, he doesn't just visit. He's like, come, child. You're coming home.
I'm taking you home. You must not interfere with the workings of this world. And I'm like, you just opened a giant portal and destroyed someone's home, and like hit a human, broke the glasses. I'm pretty sure you're the one who's interfering at the moment.
Like, he could have killed Miss Kobayashi, and he just like laser beamed her glasses off.
Yeah, burnt the side of her face. Rude.
Yeah, fucking jerk.
Yeah, so mean. And then they go have a fight, and then Miss Kobayashi enters the realm that they're on Kana's back and is like, hey, dude, have faith in your daughter that she's not gonna fuck shit up. And he's like, I don't approve, but leaves anyways. I'm like, okay, fine, you just said that to save face.
Yeah, it's just like typical anime happy ending.
Yeah. And then, did you watch the OVA?
I watched it the first time I watched it. I did not watch it this time.
So, episode 14 is just like Valentine's and Hot Springs trip. Valentine's episode gets a smidgen weird when Kobayashi gets fed chocolates that Toru has supposedly put Mandragora in. Which in this realm, I think, just is Mandragora in this realm is a love potion thing. I don't know. But then she eats it when she's with Kana and then has to leave because she's feeling things that she shouldn't be feeling, and then goes into her room. And then it's revealed, big joke, it was actually just alcohol the whole time, and she's drunk. And I'm like, yeah, it wasn't funny. I don't know. Like, that just made me feel weird that it wasn't actually a love potion. She was just drunk. Yeah, she was feeling those things towards Kana. I don't know. Made me feel weird. Didn't like that section. But the hot spring section of the episode was really cute. Because I really liked Shota going to get his little dragon keychain and bonding with Takia. And them just having a good old amount of bro time, and Takia on the train with them on the way back and stuff, confirming that him and Kobayashi are actual friends and not just work buds. I don't know, that was really cute. I liked that bit.
Yeah, it was nice.
So yeah, in my opinion, there are a couple things that are awkward and uncomfy, and I didn't particularly feel brought anything to the show and made me not entirely super happy about, but I know other people just saw them as jokes, so take that for what you will. It's my personal opinion. But the animation was really cool. I like the animation a lot. What did you think of the OP and ED?
I like them. I wasn't just in love with them or anything, but I liked them. They were good.
Yeah, I feel the same way.
They fit the show. Also, again, just the animation in the OP with the, like, just those few scenes. Oh, so good. Just Kyoto being Kyoto in those moments.
Yeah. I think this is a really, like, chill show to watch, to just enjoy if you want to have, like, if you have a couple minutes and you want to just chuck something on. I feel like this is a decent show to watch for that.
Yeah, it's something you can definitely watch casually, not necessarily something to binge. Although you can binge it. Like, it's not a hard binge, but it's definitely better kind of taking an episode at a time. Yeah.
And, like, I mean, I have to admit that Kobayashi and Takia would be a fantastically easy cosplay.
Yes. 100%.
Yeah.
Just wear a button down, a yellow tie, and khakis, and you're covered.
Yeah, and Takia button down the blue stripy tie and khakis.
Yep.
Good to go.
I have future con ideas.
Yeah, easy peasy cosplay. I don't know. It's 6 for me. It's just a few moments that were like, that really were a thing. And then others that were really fun and really cute and really sweet. Very tropey. Yeah, I just when you compare it to something like Your Lie in April, it doesn't hold up in the same way, but it's kind of not supposed to. I don't know. You know what I mean?
I like how that's your standard of measurement.
Well, it's like that's what we consider a 10 on the podcast, right?
Yeah, I mean, that is true. It is.
But even holding it up to like Daily Lives of High School Boys, I laughed out loud so much more with that than with this.
I'm surprised you didn't hold that to Tanaka-kun.
Tanaka-kun to me is like a whole different... That's like its own bubble. If I find something to compare to Tanaka-kun, then that's...
Well, I mean, you know, with that being like the top of the comedy standard, though,
Yeah.
like you would think you would hold it to that instead of the
do.
Daily Lives of High School Boys, unless it's better than the Daily Lives of High School Boys, but it's not on the level of Tanaka-kun. You have like a tiered list of shit you have to put it up against.
I think it's probably on Are You Lost's realm for me. I think it's just as tropey, just as, like, weirdly sexual in weird ways. Like in that one scene of Are You Lost where they were, like, giving each other enemas to survive, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like, weirdly sexual. I feel like it fits along there. This is just has those a few moments of, like, actual creepy that I'm not keen on. So yeah, I'm putting it on kind of that level. Daily Lives of High School Boys, Tanaka-kun are both better, in my opinion.
I would definitely put it a notch above Are You Lost, but still nowhere near on the level of either of those.
Okay, yeah, that's fair.
So yeah, I'd probably give it like a 6.5-ish, give or take.
Mm-hmm.
Because OP's good, ED's good, like the moments of humor in it are phenomenal. It does have those kind of, you know, weird, cringy, creepy bits.
Yeah, but the main three characters are absolutely adorable. I understand why they are so loved.
Oh yeah, like just the main trio is just a staple in new gen anime.
Yeah, 100%.
And it's easy to understand why they're lovable, they're relatable with their amounts of growth.
Yeah,
and just the interactions they have.
They're goofy, they're silly, they're funny, they're very cute.
Mm-hmm.
You can make some really, really good cosplays out of them. They're kind of check all the boxes.
Oh yeah, 100%. So I can definitely see the appeal to the show. And again, I enjoyed it whenever I watched this. That's why I suggested covering it just as light stuff to kind of get us through before we do the first 2 seasons of My Hero.
Yeah.
The week after next. So,
yeah.
You know, just something easy and chill.
Yeah, and I definitely, enjoyed the vast majority of what I watched for it.
Is that everything?
I think that's everything.
Cool. So, you can find the lovely Blue Lavender on twitch.tv/Blue Lavender. She does not stream now. She may get back to it at some point. Who knows? She also has an Instagram and Twitter at Blue Lavender STM, where she posts life updates, art updates, fun stuff like that. And she also has an Instagram for her dog Tilly at the Best Tilly Bean, where if you like doggo photos, that's the place to go, because Bean is definitely best Bean.
Yeah, and if you like Brad and you like hearing his voice, his opinions, that kind of stuff, you can hang out with him on his Twitch streams at Brad Carter Gaming. He's also Brad Carter Gaming on Instagram, so you can check him out there as well. He also runs our Instagram and Twitter for the podcast at BnB Anime, so you can check us out on all social medias under that handle. We also have a YouTube channel, which is at BnB Anime as well, with all of our previously archived episodes, some handy dandy thumbnails, and stuff like that is all on there, so be sure to check that out. Leave us some messages in the comments. Let us know your opinions, because like I've said before, and I will keep saying it until we gain some qualifications, we have none at the moment, and we are just two idiots who are fans of anime who like to share our opinions because we're loud and obnoxious. So be sure to share yours as well. Let us know if you agree or disagree and why. And yeah, let's get some conversations going, because like I said, I have some pretty strong opinions on this anime. I've had some pretty strong opinions on animes in the past. I want to know if you agree, disagree, what you think. Because I always like to try and open my own mind, and the only way to do that is by talking to other people with differences of opinion. So let's hear them in those comment sections. You can also recommend future animes for us to watch, or second seasons of things as well, and answer any questions that we may have asked throughout the podcast episode as well. So be sure to put those all in the comment section, or hit us up in those DMs if you feel like it. We also have a website, which is at www.bnbanime.com, where we have all of our previously archived episodes with links to your favorite listening platforms for easy downloads. We also have background information on both Brad and I, links to our voice acting stuff, behind the scenes, friends of the podcast, all that kind of stuff is on our website, so be sure to check that out as well.
That's
everything?
Cool. So, thank you all so much for listening. Blue and I greatly appreciate it. Next week, The Devil is a Part-Timer, Season 1. I'm excited.
I'm excited.
This is a phenomenal comedy / rom-com type anime.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know. It's a great time. The evil ruler, overlord, devil person gets transported to modern day Japan and has to become a part-timer working at McDonald's or McDonald's. It's glorious. It's a great time. You get to deal with all the shenanigans. It's wonderful. So you look forward to that for next week. But until then, we'll catch y'all next time. Bye-bye.
Bye.